I'm Wild the Coyote. I'm from Templeton, California. That was where I was born and raised, in a small town on the central coast of California, in a town with one stoplight and a population with more cows than people. And for the last, I'd say 15 or 16 years, I've been living in LA. And now I'm here in Nashville. I like to say that I play modern outlaw country because I feel like what I've done with outlaw country is add this element of beats and almost like a hip hop kind of just like crusty New York style beats to these kind of dark country songs that I've been writing. And I heard a Johnny Cash song called God's Gonna Cut You Down, and I was like completely tripped out that he blended that so well. So ever since that, I've been really honing in on putting myself in that lane where I can do outlaw country, which is such a traditional sound, and add this like very new and vibey energy to it. When you grow up in a small town, you want to only be from the big city. So I felt like I was constantly wanting to get out and be more than what my very agriculture town was like. I was a huge athlete, and at a very young age, I got really into music. And I think ever since I was like 8 or 9 years old, I knew that I wanted to be a musician and kind of be an entertainer. And I don't really know what it's like to not want or not know what you're gonna do. So I had always been driving like that, in that direction. But I grew up in a small town playing sports. My dad was really big in the community. So I grew up in a very loving town, a very, small knit community, but I just always felt that I wanted to be away from that and bigger than that. And as soon as I graduated high school and knew that I didn't really have a future in college, or I moved to Hollywood and pursued being an artist. So, but yeah, I grew up playing sports. They called me the punk rock jock. I still have that chip on my shoulder. And, but, now I'm just punk rock, I guess. I showed a big interest in music when I was like, I don't know, 4th grade. Well, maybe even earlier, like my cousins showed me like Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style, that album, Meatloaf. I remember that cassette came out. Bat Out of Hell was super big on me, but it wasn't until Green Day Dookie came out in 1994 where like I saw this like magazine with Billy Joe, and he had this like bleach blonde haired Liberty Spikes and the tattoos and his kind of less like punk edge, where I was like, that's what I want to do, that's what I'm gonna do. And I've never took my foot off the gas since then. So very young age, I was my mom had me in choir, and I was really good at it, so I like really glad that she put me in it. But when you're in choir, you just want to be out of choir, so I quit very, very quickly and picked up a guitar and haven't put it down since. Doubt is something that is gonna face any determined person. Doesn't matter if you're in the music industry or the education industry, it doesn't matter. Doubt, but it isn't doubt within me, it's doubt within others that's gonna get in your head. Is there any doubt in my mind? No. Was there doubt in others? Yes. Is that infectious? It can be. And I think that if you don't protect yourself from people not having the same confidence that you have, whether it's your parents or your teachers or your partner, or your friends, that can really fuck with you. But I've never had any doubt. I've been determined. I also didn't break into a professional level until I was in my early 30s. And I had been really dying to do this since I was like a teenager. So with social media and things like that, things get competitive, and you're trying to compare your success to the success of someone else, and that can fuck you up too, because then you feel like if you're not as big as them at their age or how fast they are, then you're going to doubt yourself and your progress. This is a very things like this are about perseverance and about really finding your voice, no pun intended, but like chiseling away at who you are and who you're going to become. And I played different music, different styles in bands with different artists for a long time before I found my voice as well, the Coyote, and how I was going to do it. And even when I first did that, people doubted me and they don't really understand what you're going to do, but I always have. And that kind of determination separates you from the people who doubt and the people who are determined. So no, I've never doubted this. What motivates me to keep going? Just the job's not finished. This isn't this isn't the goal. I mean, the goal, this is great, and I'm so blessed and so grateful for everything that I have, and I treat it as such. I believe that I was able to find success at a time in my life where I'm grateful and not arrogant about it or feel like this was easy. This was very hard for me, and it took a long time, a lot longer than I wanted it to, but I feel like it came at a time in my life where I can respect that. And I've always respected the struggle, but not quite as much as I do now. What motivates me to keep going is I'm just not done writing, and I'm just not done evolving, and this is who I am now in this period, and I'm really excited to see what I'm gonna do next. And it's, as a creator, as someone who's, illustrating different kind of art forms, whether it's music or merch, I design my own merchandise, stuff like that, or video, or, things like that. I just don't know what's next, but I know that I'm just probably hungrier than I've ever been before. I'm probably more determined than I've ever been before, and I keep elevating the bar on what I'm going to do. And I just keep my ear to the ground, and I want to learn. I know that I'm not a master by any means. I'm a student of this game, and I feel like I have a lot of time left before I hang it up. So I'm just motivated to see what I'm capable of next. What I define success by, through my experience, is if I can live a life where I can do what I love and be happy and not have to worry about doing anything else. So I am very grateful for what I have because I get to do it day in and day out. But I do remember a time where I could only do it half the time, and then I had to go and clock in and do something else, which took away from what I really, really wanted to do. So, not to sound cliche, but if you're able to be happy full time, 24 hours a day, I think that you're successful. And I mean, that you can't take that away from anybody. If I had to give my younger self advice, it would probably be take pride in being different. And I was different growing up. My parents were immigrants. I grew up in a really white neighborhood. And I really feared being different. It wasn't cool to be different when I was growing up, at least in my head. But I could tell you that nobody pays attention until you are different. People want to see something that they can't emulate themselves. So take pride in being unique. Take pride in being different. Let's see where that takes you. If you want to stand out, which is something I've always wanted to do.